Wake up! It was all a bad dream! Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Higurashi. Still sick, by the way, if I still sound stuffed up, but hopefully last day I'm sick, because tomorrow for the next 4 days I'm going to a cottage, so I won't be recording. So I'll have at least another 4-day break, plus it might not, Higurashi might not even be the first thing I record, so there's a very good chance we'll be like completely better, but we're still doing fine. But anyways, last time, what happened? Oh yeah, Satoko is dead. Shion is dead. Keiichi and Rena are tilted. Everything's looking bad. Rika did not meep. Everything. Everything. Though Satoko didn't die the way I thought. I thought it would have been a situation where Satoko got killed by the taser, but I also forgot that Satoko has high lightning resistance, so my bad. But no, she just L5'd out and killed Shion and then scratchy'd herself, so it's unfortunate. I'm pretty sure this is just like the ending. I don't know how much more this arc can go through, but we'll see if we follow Keiichi and Rena's path for vengeance. I'm hoping like the worst case scenario I can see happening for the rest of this arc is going after Mion, but hell no. Please don't hurt my girl. That'd be too tragic. But yeah, let's see. Mom was desperately calling out to me because I hadn't got him up at the usual time. Even though I said that, I couldn't pull myself out of the futon. My body was heavy, was so heavy, like lead. To be more accurate, it was my heart that felt heavy. A vision of Shion and Satoko lying in a pool of blood came back to me any time I closed my eyes. That bloody kitchen knife laying on the ground. As I recalled, it still felt like I was holding it in the palm of my hand. I'll take revenge with this. Oh god. Path of vengeance. After no one, though. It's unfortunate. I'll have my revenge on the person who took my peaceful everyday life from me in an instant. Keiichi, did you forget literally everyone can read your thoughts? It's not a good thing to think about. When I opened my eyes, Mom was standing before me. I frequently skip school back in my old town, but I've been in good health since I moved here. In the past, Mom would have just smacked me and dragged me out of the futon, but today she seemed really worried about me. Kinda like this song though. I said whatever came to mind and tried to look apologetic. I'm sure Rena's taking it harder, knowing her. Mom said that cheerfully. She'd be disappointed, huh? Actually, I wonder what kind of face I'd make if I had to see Rena. What kind of face would Rena be making at a time like this? My heart ached every time I thought of yesterday. That day where I was roaring like a ferocious beast at Satoko's house. Every time I told myself that I had no other choice, a feeling of emptiness sprang up. I have no idea what I'm supposed to live for now. Maybe clinging to my hatred is the best way to go on living. Surely. That's the answer. Mom left the room. Perhaps she'd grown tired of my silence. I don't need cold medicine. I wanted to say that, but I decided to keep quiet. Silence once again filled the room. The day we killed Teppei Hojo in the forest felt like so long ago. The world has changed since that day. When Satoko screamed in despair after witnessing me mercilessly beat Teppei Hojo to death, that was when it changed. I wonder why all of this happened. Who killed Shion, the Toko, and why did Satoko have to die like that with her throat torn apart? If Shion's story was accurate, It was similar to Tomodachi-san's death. He clawed out his throat with his own fingernails. He ultimately died from the excessive blood loss. The police suspected that Tomodachi-san's death was a suicide, but if that was the case, then it suggested Satoto's death was also a suicide. I mean, true, technically. Satoto committing suicide? Why? That's impossible. No, now in black and white if you wanted to see it again. Well, kinda. Actually, yeah, black and white. I once again retold the scene of Satoto with her throat torn open. Dude, I kind of wish they went a little ham with this. You know, we got the little blood scenes, but like, if they showed a little blood at Satoto's neck would have been cool. But I know they don't want to go too graphic with the CGs. Still pretty good with the facial expressions. However, it became completely unbearable after just 2 seconds. The terrible sight and repulsive bloody scent of Satoto's corpse was burned into my memory. Oh god, Rena, don't kill Mion! Mom came back with the cold medicine. Normally, if I wasn't at our usual meeting place, Rena would worry about me and come to my house to check up on me. My normal, everyday life, I never thought it was so fragile. I tossed the cold medicine in my mouth and drank a sip of water right away. There was nothing wrong with my body, but taking cold medicine wouldn't make it any worse. Okay. Instead of responding, I simply closed my eyes. I wanted to sleep like this for the rest of my life, to get away from everything. If I could just have a pleasant dream where I played and had club activities with Satoto, Shion, Rena, Mion, and Rita-chan forever, I wouldn't need anything else. That was all I wanted. I softly begged for it. Not sure if it's thanks to the cold medicine or not, but before I knew it, I fell asleep. Ring. Oh yeah, we still haven't solved that, like, phone mystery. Like the silent phoner. Caller. Ring. The phone was ringing. Ring. I probably don't even need to say ring. I guess mom went out, and I guess dad is out too. Where could they have gone? Ring. I'm still saying it. It's a habit. Read everything on screen, you know? The phone kept ringing non-stop. I was getting sick of it, but I gave up. I was in no mood to listen to a telemarketer's poor sales pitch right now. Chad? Dude, I never answer the home phone, man. It's annoying. And it's like 80% like telemarketers. I live in a condo. I don't need any of your shit. It doesn't apply to me. They're trying to reach mom or dad, but I guess they're both out. Come on, just leave me alone. Relatable. The caller was far too persistent. It caused the lingering unease in my heart to gradually grow stronger. I didn't know why, but I just had a feeling that the person on the other end of the phone would deliver me more bad news. Hey, it's Oishi here. Yeah, Rena just killed Mion and herself. Or Rita. I headed downstairs and I stood there and watched the phone ring for a while. I'm sorry, was that not the phone in your room? I guess not. I guess that's why he was asking for his mother or dad to enter, but, you know, I was just staring at the phone in his background. I headed downstairs and I stood there. Yeah, I read that, by the way. If I pick up that phone, another wave of unfortunate events will be unleashed. I thought that for a second, but the next moment, I picked up the receiver. Bro, that's a girl. That's not Mion, I think. Oh, wait, maybe that's not the silent caller, though. The atmosphere grew tense as I heard a very faint voice at the other end of the phone. Who is it? As I thought that, I tried to say something, but then I heard the other person's voice. Mion! Hearing that voice made all the blood in my body run cold. Bruh. Impossible. Wait, was there a sister switching thing in this too? I don't know, man. I thought about nostalgically as I heard a lovely familiar voice. I did not pick up on that. Actually, wait, that's wrong. I swear I said a bunch of times that Mion and Shion kind of switched. But I kind of dropped that later. Dude, imagine if that was Mion that, not Shion. And Mion helped with the killing. Not Shion. But like... Or what? I don't know. And the owner of that voice was Shion, who should already be dead. What the fuck? I mean, this is probably Mion. It just be... Huh. Or maybe this is... Maybe... Okay, innocent explanation. This is Mion pretending to be Shion because Mion knows that Keiichi has been hanging out with Shion a lot, so she just wants to talk to him through the voice of Shion, and maybe she'll learn some other stuff too, because Mion doesn't know that Shion's dead, and this is like super creepy. Shion was talking in her usual cheery tone. What are you doing, Shion? Yesterday, you were dead, right? Bro's just going with it. Dude, I would actually just question. The thing is, if he questions it, you'll definitely get a reaction. Because if it's Mion, she'll be like, what the fuck? My man's actually just going along with it, huh? I tried to keep the conversation calm while assessing my opponent's attitude. A dead person was calling me. I desperately pondered the meaning of that while listening to the bright voice coming through the receiver. Hey, that's Satoko. Satoko sleeps with her stomach out, confirmed by Rika. Not Keiichi. Jesus, Mion? Our meaningless conversation continued. I tried to be cheery and tried to stay calm as I spun together whatever words I could muster. I'm fine with that too, if you're Mion. We don't ship Shion and Keiichi in this channel. Nice. I feel like I'm pretty gentle as a sleeper. I might like roll around a bit though, but not too much. Wait, you think wait, oh shit, I just thought of something. You think Shion like died right away? No, I don't know. You think Shion like died bringing Satoko back to her place and the person we met at the library was Mion? But that would that'd be so weird. I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking of the exact switching point. I don't know. This was a game of catch, throwing meaningless words back and forth to pass the time. When I realized that, I stopped laughing. You dead? Who am I really talking to right now? Or rather, maybe I should be asking, who was that corpse at Satoko's house? Bro, I actually think it's Mion just like straight chilling with Keiichi. I actually don't think it's malicious somehow. Maybe I'm being too naive. It's just that like Mion does like nothing wrong like ever, right? so like it doesn't like I don't know, it doesn't really make sense here. Oh? That was a while ago. Oh, that's right. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday, Rena, Rita-chan, and I were all desperately searching for Shion together in an effort to locate Satoko. It's crazy that I already forgotten something like that. I banged my head with my fist to sharpen my senses. She really wants to go there. On the chest, side, stomach, back, and neck and legs, Shion was shedding blood from all over her body while lying on the floor at Satoto's house yesterday. And Satoto was lying there too, with her throat torn apart like it was ripped open. Could all of that been a hallucination seen by 3 people? Surely, copium. Could the 2 of them still be alive and well somewhere? Was I mistaken in thinking I saw both of them?
シオン、はい。昨日ちゃんとバイト行ったのか?
Well, that would be a lie.
やだな、ケイちゃん。何言ってるんですか。当たり前ですよ。
家には帰ったか?
That would also be a lie.
当たり前です。人を不良少女みたいに言わないでください。
Wait, there's no cell phone, so whoever's talking is talking from Shion's phone in her apartment, right?
そうだよな。
そうですよ。
そうだよな。
Yeah. KG made it awkward. The silence continued. If she went home yesterday, wouldn't someone have seen her? Oishi was supposed to be waiting in front of her house, right? Didn't that seem unusual? Detoxifying? And what about Satoko? Was she really about to head to Angel Mort? Did she go yesterday too? Why would she lie about that? Even though there are a lot of things I wanted to ask, she probably dodged all of my questions. I don't know. I'm confused. Just as if it's Shion, and that's a dead Mion. It was Mion the one who helped? But it doesn't make sense because Shion knows about that too, right? Oh. I immediately began squeezing the receiver tight. Oh. We didn't see any weapons there, right? Shion responded like it was perfectly natural. My heart was racing. Shion wasn't responsible for weapon disposal, Rena was. Right. I'm a little foggy on that part. I guess Rena got rid of the bat and everything into the swamp. Dude, is this Mion trying to find out what happened so she can cover for them, or like something like that? Mion's a good person. Hopefully. It has to be. My heart was beating wildly. Oh, don't meet her. This is awkward. She has part-time work. Then the other end of the receiver went silent. Shion, tell me you're willing to come. If you're going to continue using Shion's name. Then she hung up. Shion is coming, with weapons she couldn't have possibly taken home. I'm sure Rena will be at the garbage mountain today too. If Rena didn't go to school, I'm sure she'll be over there. I had no grounds for that, but I was convinced. I changed my clothes and put my shoes on. Then I grabbed an empty bag, hid the thing I found in the kitchen inside of it. Hid the thing I found... What, the knife? And then left the house? What is happening? This is taking another turn. Kind of in a good way though, but still. Evening had already fallen by the time I reached the garbage mountain at the damn construction site. As I parked my bike, I looked for signs of Rena's presence. Although I couldn't see Rena, I noticed her bike mixed in with the strap. I carefully watched my step as I descended the garbage slope. What have I been doing all day today? I skipped school and spent the day hiding in bed to escape reality. I got a phone call from Shion, who was supposed to be dead, and I invited her here. It all felt so unreal. None of it was in line with my everyday thoughts. And what remained was a set of unbelievable facts. A person who couldn't possibly be alive somehow was, and a person who ought to be here was dead. Hello. When I turned around, I saw Shion coming down the garbage slope. Shion, who the hell are you? I felt like I had an idea what the answer was. Oh, it's either Mion or Shion. Take your pick. I honestly don't know. I think it's Mion. More likely. But we'll see. Shion turned to me with a bright, innocent smile. No, that's not Shion.
Mion だろ。
Collar on it.
何言ってるんですか、ケイちゃん。ちゃんとよく見てくださいよ。私シオンですよ。
どういうつもりなんだ。
どうしちゃったんです、急に。何かあったんですか？
Shion just stared blankly at me. My confidence was wavering. Is it possible that this is actually Shion? The Shion standing before me was staring at me with her eyes wide open. In my mind, those eyes overlapped with the lifeless eyes of Shion I found dead at Satoku's house yesterday. The corpse I saw yesterday definitely had the same face as this person. Oh wow, but they're twins, so... So the person who was supposed to be dead speaking to me was a living contradiction. Impossible. The person standing in front of me can't possibly be Shion.
シオンはもう死んでるんだよ。
Okay, that gotta get a reaction out of her. Shion, no, Mion audibly
お
gasped.
前はミオンなんだ。
Mion's eyes darted in every direction. She held a hand to her mouth to hide the look of dismay on her face.
シオンが死んでるってど
Oh,
ういうことです？
maybe? It still sounds like Shion, so... Unless Mion was the Shion? What the fuck? No, that's worse. Her voice was trembling from fear and the awful truth she was about to hear.
もうやめろよ。シオンの真似。どうして俺たちを騙したのか。俺が知りたいのは。
ごめん。
Hey, it's
ごめん
Mion.
なさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Confirmed, I guess, by name tag only. Mion immediately started apologizing. She slipped on her footing and knocked over some cans on the ground. Not the cans, dude, it's the Shion curse. On the ground as she knelt down and pressed both her hands together.
謝らなくていい。
What the fuck? Wait, why is she apologizing like that?
もうどうしようもないことなんだから。
ケイちゃんとレナずっと変だなと思ってたんだ。
See, it's just Mion being a good person. What did I say? Mion's literally never bad.
だから騙すつもりなんて全然なかったんだ
This
よ。
is based, Mion.
そんなことを聞いてない。なんでシオンになりすましてたのか。
To figure out what sketchy shit you're doing.
ごめん。ひょっとしたらサトシと同じことが起きてるんじゃないかって私。
サトシ
Satoshi. Satoto's older brother, the one who disappeared and left Satoto behind. Satoto's Nini.
綿流しの前くらいからケイちゃんたちシオンと3人で何か相談してたでしょ。それで何かあるのかなって気になってたんだ。
Smart?
なんで私を仲間に入れてくれないのかなって。わざと私には秘密にしてるみたいだった。
True?
あの時
Don't abandon Mion?
ちょっと寂しかったんだよ。だからシオンに何をしようとしているのかなって電話で聞こうとしたんだけど、電話はかけたけど聞けなかった。シオンは私のこと
They
信頼してない
didn't?
ような素振りを見せてたし、
Yeah, Shion and Rena didn't.
話してくれるわけないかって。
I would always trust Mion though.
でも気になって、私ケイちゃんたちのこと本当はずっと気にしてたんだよ。そして綿流しが終わったら北条哲平がいなくなって、里子もシオンもいなくなって。
Mion raised her eyebrows as she anxiously looked up at me. I don't understand your story, Mion. Hello? Keiichi? I mean, this is like the easiest story. Mion noticed you guys were being sussy. She tried to figure out what was happening, knowing what happened to Satoshi killing the ant. Tepe dies. Mion's like, oh shit, they probably did something, and she's just trying to get the details to help. It's actually like cookie cutter, Keiichi. It's not hard to dissect. You impersonated him because you wanted to be our friend. Good one, Keiichi, honestly. Sometimes I forget you're like 15 years old. Actually, I like never forget that, but sorry for judging you. I know you're a kid, but still. I couldn't understand it at all.
違うの。
Oh my god.
ケイちゃんごめんなさい。
Honestly, Mia, I mean, you can apologize, but like, this is just Keiichi being a little weird.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Stop apologizing. It's meaningless.
お願いケイちゃん、そんな目で見ないでよ。
I'm tilted. Keiichi's being
ごめん
weird.
なさい。ごめんなさい。シオンはあんな性格だから、もしかして私鉄平を殺したのはシオンなんじゃないかと思って、それでシオンは逃げて行方をくらましたんじゃないかって。
She must have deduced from our stories that all three of us were involved in Tepe's murder.
それで私、それならなおさら一人で逃げてしまったシオンのアリバイを作らなくちゃと思った。
True?
それでシオンのふりしてた。
True?
それだけなんだよ。
So I think Shion did die the same night. She brought Totoro to the house, and that was Mion at the library, pretending to be Shion.
お願い、信じて。
I literally believe you.
嘘はもうやめようよ、みーちゃん。
Huh.
レナ、
This is cringe. Before I realized it, Rena was standing behind Mion. Mion's eyes fixated on the massive hatchet Rena was holding. Oh my god, I fucking knew this shit was gonna happen. It was in my gut that somehow these two friends going on revenge would like kill Mion.
ねえ、
It,
みーちゃん。
I felt it in my gut, man.
みーちゃんの話、
It
おか
lit
しいよ。
it literally adds up.
それならなんで、さとこちゃんも殺したの？さとこ、
Good one,
さとこ
Rena.
が死んだの？なんで？まさか、どうして？白々しいんだよ。
Yo, Tage, you wanna like stop this? By the way, Rena spun her hatchet down and let a loud clang as it sliced into the hood of the car by her feet.
やり方が汚いよね、みーちゃん。
What did she do?
やってることも汚いけどさ。しーちゃんを殺しておいて、しーちゃんをかばおうと思っていたなんて。ひどい目に遭ってるさとこちゃんのこと見て見ぬふりしてたのも、綿流しの日に殺すつもりだったからでしょ。レナ、何言ってんの？レナの言ってること全然わかんないよ。しらばっくれないでよ。 仲間に入りたかった？笑わせないで。初めから私たち仲間なんかじゃなかったじゃない。
Jesus.
レナ。
Yeah, Teichi, do something. Mia looked up at me like she was begging. Oh my god. However, all I had to do was totally gaze back at her. Mion, what you've done can never have been taken back.
全部たたりなんだろう。お社様の園崎家が起こしてるんだろう。お社様のたたり。
ケイちゃん。あんたたちおかしいよ。何言ってるのか全然わかんないよ。北条家は元から根絶やしにするつもりだった。だから里子ちゃんを殺した。違う。私じゃない。里子にそんなこと一度だって思ったこともない。
もういいんだよ、ミオ。お前が否定すればするほど全てが嘘っぱちに聞こえる。
Bro, these guys, man. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too much of a Mion. I mean, we know the whole story, so obviously we know Mion didn't do it, but like, even without it, it sounds pretty reasonable. I guess you don't know that Mion helped cover up the Teppei murder in Higurashi at this point. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, I that was like one mystery I didn't get for a while, to be honest. But yeah.
里子を殺して里子を守ろうとしたシオンまでも殺した。富武さんと高野さんを殺したのはどういう理由なんだ。
違うよ。違うんだよ。ごめんなさい。
Tears began falling from Mion's eyes. Mion clapped both her hands together and bowed while sobbing profusely.
お社様のたたり、お前はやりたくなかったんだよな。でも園崎家の命令で仕方なかったんだよな。
どうしてこんなことに。何がいけなかったのよ。ごめんなさい。残念だったね、みーちゃん。途中でバレちゃって。次はレナたちの予定だったんでしょ。殺すの。ごめんなさい。
うるさい、黙れ。
I took out the kitchen knife I hid in the bed. The knife that was lying beside Shion and Satoko yesterday. The one that spilled the blood of my precious friends. Mion gasped as she opened her eyes wide in despair. Hey Keiichi, forgive her already. She's apologized enough, hasn't she? She did something that can never be taken back. But even so, forgive her, because this won't bring the two of them back. Mion's face was drenched with tears. The miserable face was the same Mion who always smiled about club activities. In those days, we were all around Satoko and everyone was smiling together. Classic.
まあまあ、家庭科の授業ってことで。じゃあ、さとこ、これは？
Mion used her chopsticks to pick up a little green morsel wrapped in bacon.
でもそれ、アスパラ。
I held Rita-chan's mouth closed.
黄色がカリフラワー、緑がカリフラワー。さあ、どっちだ？ん？わかりますもの。わかるもん。じゃあ答えなよ。わかるもん。
Satoko cried out, unable to bear it any longer. When Rena saw that, she held her head and pinched her cheeks. That was our everyday life. When a salty taste entered my mouth, I realized I was crying. Mion was still apologizing by my feet. As the dust began to settle in, the cries of the Higurashi grew even louder. The wind had gotten a lot cooler. It seemed like good weather for everyone to play together.
みーちゃん、ごめんね。本当はこんなことしたくなかったんだよ。それだけは分かってくれるよね。
Rena tightly gripped her hatchet. Her cheeks were soaking wet. Rena was crying too, without making a sound.
Mion.
I clenched the kitchen knife I was holding. In the same moment that Rena swung her hatchet, I rushed in with the kitchen knife. Lol. I felt like I could hear Mion's cheerful voice mixed in with the groans of pain.
ケイちゃんにはそんなこと全然似合わないよ。それより今日の部活は何やろうか。罰ゲームはね。
Maybe I just didn't want to hear Mion's final words. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Mion's voice echoed inside my head and synchronized with my own feelings. Maybe I was the one who wanted to apologize. Mion. I just wanted to regain our happy days. It wasn't supposed to end this way. Nobody wanted this. That was a good ending, despite me being tilted. I actually think that was, like, awesome. This and last episode were pretty dope. You know, it personally hurts as a Mion fan. And I did kind of see it coming when they didn't just end it last episode. But it's good. We'll continue. Even though I'm sick, I actually want to just keep going. I want to see the end of this. What's gonna happen? Like, how... Are they gonna cope the whole time? Are they gonna actually just get caught? I would love to see, like... I mean, we probably won't see, like, proof that, like, Mion just didn't do it. But that would be sweet. Because I would love to see the reactions, but yeah. Let's see. The night was approaching. As the sun went down, only a little light remained on the mountaintops. Both the fishy smell of blood lingering in the air and Mion's voice, still ringing in my ears, felt like they were about to drift off into the sky. Mion's long hair fluttered in the wind and struck my feet. Ren was kneeling with Mion's head in her lap. Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought like she decapitated her, but no, I guess it doesn't mean that. Stroking Mion's hair.
人って死んじゃうんだね。
Rena gazed at Mion's lifeless lips and spoke in a nonchalant voice. In a voice that sounded like she had already forgotten what she had done with her own hands.
兄ちゃんはね、レナが引っ越してきた時、初めて声をかけてくれた子なんだよ。
The people of Hinamizawa had a strong bond with one another, but tended to treat outsiders coldly. Even though Rena was originally from Hinamizawa, she moved away when she was little, so the villagers still treated her like an outsider when she returned. Come to think of it, was it any different for me? Maybe it was because of Dad's strong personality, or maybe it was because I made some good friends at school, but I was fortunate enough that it never caused any issues. However, Mom had to regularly interact with the villagers face to face, so it was probably really hard on her in the beginning.
引っ越してくる前の学校でいろいろあってね。あの頃、レナはちょっと辛かったんだよね。精神的に。一からやり直そうと思ってこっちに来たのに、前に住んでいた町と全然違うから、どうしていいのかわからなかった。不安でいっぱいの中、初めて学校へ行ってね。初めてレナに声をかけてくれたのはみーちゃんだった。
Oh my god, Mion flashbacks, dude. You know what? At least the Mion focus episode. Kinda lit,
いい名前だね。
even though she's dead.
困ったことがあるなら何でもいいなよ。
Now they realize she's the best person.
この村では隠し事なんかしてもすぐにバレちゃうんだから。そんな不安そうな顔しなくても大丈夫だよ。私に任せときなって。
Yeah, surely this Mion killed the two, right? Surely.
レナは家族のことでちょっと悩んでた。
To be fair, I guess it is a little weird. You know, just thinking about it, Mion dressing up as Shion. But like, to me it made sense, but it's because, you know, we've read like 100 hours of Higurashi, so it just matches with her character, but, you know. I'm glad I predicted like it was just Mion being a good person though from like the beginning.
そんな悩み事打ち明ける必要なんて全くなかった。レナの家族について悪い噂を流そうとする人がいたみたいなんだけど。
Probably true.
みーちゃんがそういうのは全部レナの耳に入らないようにしてくれたみたい。毎日一緒に学校に行ってリカちゃんやさとこちゃんや他のお友達の仲間に入れてくれて、みーちゃんと一緒にいるとレナの悩み事なんてすごくちっぽけなことに思えてくる。レナにここで両足でしっかり立って生きていく勇気をくれたんだよ、みーちゃんは。
Rena let out a brief sigh while gently stroking Mion's hair. The smell of Mion's shampoo tickled my nose as the breeze carried it over. Somehow, despite coming from a corpse, it was a lovely scent.
あんなに優しかったのに、あんなに頼りになる仲間だったのに。ねえケイチくん、どうしてこんなことになっちゃったんだろうね。
Rena twirled Mion's hair around her finger as she asked me that. Why did this happen? I didn't know either. I couldn't answer Rena's question. There's no way I could answer that, so I simply bowed my head and remained silent. Mion's hair slipped through Rena's fingers in a gentle arc.
何が間違ってたんだろうね。どこで歯車が狂っちゃったんだろう。
I wonder.
レナは何を間違えたんだろう。
Yep.
どうしてだろうね。
Well, if you're asking me, it's obviously the point where they decided to kill Tepe, the trio. Because killing is wrong. There you go. Moral of the story. Killing is wrong, you know? Because it ends up with a dead Satoko and a dead Mion. And a Shion, too. Bonus Shion. Don't forget about Shion. I felt the same way. I think I'd skip that. Rena went on talking to herself. I felt the same way. I had mixed feelings as I gazed at Mion's closed eyes, knowing they would never open again. Just then, I thought I caught a glimpse of one of her eyelashes moving. I stared intently at Mion's eyelashes.
どうしてだろうね。ね、ケイチくん。ケイチくん。
There's no way Mion could open her eyes. She's not going to move because Mion is already dead, right? I just kept staring at her closed eyes. Lovely Mion, she was our friend. But Mion killed Shion and Satoko, then impersonated Shion while trying to kill us. Hey, with what weapons? Did she bring a weapon? I'm pretty sure she didn't. In order to carry out the curse of Oyashiro-sama. There's no point in figuring out who failed or what went wrong. Oyashiro-sama's existence was the cause of all the problems in this village. It was all Oyashiro-sama's fault. Oyashiro-sama's the one manipulated Mion. Abu?
ケイチくん、大丈夫？顔色が悪いみたいだよ。そろそろ帰ろうか。
ああ。
Rena quietly slid Mion's head off her knees and onto the ground. I took a deep breath, then slowly got up. As I got up, dust floated onto Mion's beautiful hair. A person who was alive just this morning was lying here dead, lying unprotected on this mountain of trash, unable to resist the dust collecting on her. I felt sorry for Mion. It was Oyashiro-sama's meddling that got her killed. How unfortunate. We were the ones who killed her. No question about it, but it didn't feel like this was a matter of who directly done the deed.
間違いとかそんなんじゃないんだと思う。
Surely.
これがミオンの運命だったんだ。
If this was Mion's destiny, then it was also Shion's and Satoto's destiny to die, right? I said that trying to convince myself of that. Mion was just a pawn of Oyashiro-sama. She was destined to die. It couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped.
こんな死に方がみーちゃんの運命だったんだ。
Rena was weakly lifted her head in response to my comment. She wiped the blood from Mion's cheeks with her slender fingertip, then turned to me with a cruel light in her eyes. Then, whoa. I think I was just tripping. I thought the screen went like blurry for like a second, but it didn't. A chill ran down my back. Rena, what were you just thinking just now? The more time passed, the less I understood her. What is she thinking? Then I remembered Rena was the kind of person who could put on a cheerful smile right after killing a person. But right now, her face looked so sad. So what is she thinking? As I pondered the best way to ask Rena what she meant, she interrupted with words of her own.
帰ろうか。
I lost my chance.
どうしたのケイチくん。ぼんやりしてるみたいだよ。元気出してほしいな。
Rena gave me her usual smile while trying to encourage me.
俺は元気だぞ。
That defensive answer was the best I could muster. I was frustrated that Rena had taken the lead in this conversation, but as long as I didn't know her true feelings, I couldn't afford to say something foolish that would only stir up her hornet's nest. I stealthily looked over at Rena's expression, desperately trying to get a handle on her real intentions. What was the face you made a little while ago? What were you thinking? No way, Rena. Were you thinking about me? Rena maintained a smile on her face while slightly tilting her head to the side.
そっか。ケイチくんが元気ならよかった。元気じゃないとレナも悲しくなっちゃうしね。
俺が元気だとどうなるんだ？
If I wasn't feeling fine, would that cause problems for Rena?
元気ならいいと思うな。思うな。
Amona? Rena made a sweet smile. Even I could tell that smile was forced. The two of us are accomplices in the murder of Tepe and Mion. Murder is a sin that we'll have to carry on our backs for the remainder of our lives. Bro, they're not even disposing of the body. I guess they don't really check this place, though you feel like they would check for missing people in the trash dump. That's why we'll have to get along for the rest of our lives, even if it means maintaining a superficial relationship on the outside. And yet, just what on earth was Rena up to? Feelings of distrust toward Rena were bubbling up.
じゃあ行こっか。
Rena rose to her feet. I noticed a brief glimmer near the hem of her skirt. It looked like she was adjusting the hem of her skirt, but I caught a glimpse of something hidden behind her back. The hatchet? The same hatchet that drew Mion's blood earlier? I mean, she needs to take it home, but also, she might kill you. The blood in my body receded as I began to understand what that meant. Why, Rena? Why are you hiding that hatchet from me? I looked down at Mion on the ground. The blood flowing out had completely dried up. Rena, are you planning to kill me with that hatchet too? I glanced over at Rena once more, but she was just staring vacantly at Mion's body. Even so, that hatchet Rena kept hidden was the only thing that spoke to her true feelings. The burden of being an accomplice will last a lifetime. It was a heavy bond, stronger than marriage. Just imagining it made me feel dizzy. Rena gently moved her hands. Was she moving the hatchet? I swallowed a gulp of saliva. Come to think of it, where did I put that kitchen knife I was carrying until a little while ago? I looked around, but I couldn't see it. I kept looking and looking, but oddly enough, I couldn't see the kitchen knife anywhere. When I noticed Rena gazing in my direction, I quickly looked up towards the sky to hide my vexation.
みーちゃんをここに残しておくわけにはいかないよね。
That is true. My wandering gaze halted when I heard Rena's stern voice. We can't leave Mion here? You mean moving the corpse? Why? Nobody ever comes here. It's safer here than anywhere else, isn't it? I couldn't comprehend what Rena was thinking when she said that.
どこに持ってくんだよ。
I carefully tried to keep my dismay from coming out. Maybe she wanted to bury it somewhere like we did with Teppei Hojo? Was there a chance she wanted to kill me too?
みーちゃんをさとこちゃんとしーちゃんの近くで眠らせてあげようよ。
Rena spoke to Mion in a gentle voice. It was an affectionate voice like a mother addressing her child. Rena's voice made me feel better for a moment. I felt ashamed of myself for doubting her. But was Rena truly speaking from the bottom of her heart right there? After some internal debate, I decided she was lying. Did I just realize it would have been like hilarious? Remember like Sumi Horoboshi when Keiichi like has his flashbacks and then he like actually wait, never mind, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. I'm joking. It doesn't make sense because Keiichi also remembers killing Mion, so never mind. Rena was the kind of person who could lie without flinching. Up until now, after killing Teppei, after killing Mion, I noticed something was a little off. Rena was the sort of person who could skillfully wear one face while concealing another. So it would be better not to carelessly trust everything Rena says. My heart started to feel lighter as I pondered that. I started to relax after admitting to myself that I shouldn't trust Rena. If that's the case, it makes things easy. Just don't trust Rena. I need to consider my next move with that premise in mind. It was far easier than being lost in a cycle of wanting to trust Rena but unable to do it. Shion and Satoto should still be resting in the Hojo house. When the police get around to investigating the house, the investigation might derail under the assumption that Mion was killed there. Despite how compassionate Rena looked, my mind was thinking meticulously, so I nodded to her in a manner that made it seem like her kindness got through to me.
そうだな。みんなと一緒の方がミオンも安心するよな。
I had a distant look in my eyes while staring vacantly at Mion. Her neck was bent at a sad angle, so I looked down and bit my lip in regret. The next struggle for survival had already begun. I held my breath while waiting for Rena's reaction. Not sure if she noticed it or not, but she started to walk completely silently. The yard in front of Rena's house was packed full of junk like always. It was rather far from Satoto's house. We came here to pick up the pushcart so we could carry me onto Satoto's house. Smart?
リアカーどこに置いてあったっけな。
Yeah, I feel like we're getting lured. But I mean, if Rena wanted to kill Teichi, she would have just done it in the trash dump, right? Rena sifted through a pile of junk while searching for the cart. The yard was almost as cluttered as the garbage mountain we were at earlier. We used the cart the other day to bring the statue we excavated here, didn't we? Colonel Randy? I thought so. Or Kenta, which one's the one? I think that's Colonel Randy in the visual novel, right? Kenta-kun's what they say in the anime. Slandering my boy Randy. I thought so, but I stopped myself before saying anything. This entire area was packed with items that Rena collected on a daily basis. Well, if rumors ever started going around calling this the garbage house, I couldn't exactly object. I pretended to help Rena search for the cart while carefully searching the area. The house seemed pretty awfully quiet. I wonder if anyone is home. Though I was looking around restlessly, my eyes stopped when Rena called out to me in a sharp voice.
ケイチくん、お茶とか飲むかな。
「 No. Rena looked back at me while searching the back of the shed.
別にいらないけど。
My throat was dry, but I wanted to avoid giving Rena an opportunity to escape from my line of sight. I still wasn't sure what Rena was thinking, so I needed to carefully monitor her movements. Because I couldn't trust Rena.
ふーん、いらないんだ。せっかくお茶でも入れてあげようと思ったのにな。いらないんだ。レナのこと、ひょっとして信用してないのかな。
Even though Rena should have been standing in the back of the shed, I found her standing right beside me, staring at me with a horrifyingly distrusting look in her eyes.
なんだよ。レナを信じないで誰を信じろって言うんだよ。
I tried to laugh it off, but my face struggled to play along.
そうだよね。レナもケイイチくんのこと信じてるよ。絶対に何があってもね。
Rena's facial expression didn't change at all. I trust you too. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't get the words out of my throat.
見つけたんだよ、リアカ。埋もれててわからなかったけど。ほら。
Rena banged on the rails of the cart. It was covered in a blue tarp.
そう。じゃあ行こうか。俺が引いてやるよ。
I offered to pull the cart instead of Rena. Suddenly, Rena's shoulders twitched prominently, enough that I could notice it from 50 centimeters away. And during that time frame, the blue tarp over the cart seemed to move slightly. What? Is it Rena? Is it Rena? Is Rena alive? Wait, no, that... Maybe? Maybe instead of killing Rena, Rena's just, like, been kidnapped? Rena immediately pushed the tarp down, but I clearly saw it. I saw a familiar-looking kitchen knife right next to Rena. Oh, no. It's the knife. Bro, I thought Rena was somehow alive. That would have been weird. It was the knife I was looking for a while ago. The same knife that sucked the blood from Satoko and Shion, then stabbed Mion in the heart. I was looking everywhere for it, but I had no idea that Rena was secretly carrying it. Rena had somehow found it and secretly tucked it away without me realizing.
あ、いいよ。レナ一人で大丈夫だから。
Oh
兄
god.
ちゃんを乗っけたら、ケイイチくんにも手伝ってもらおうかな。はう？
Habu? Rena shamelessly donned her cute mode. It was painful to look at. Shamelessly. Oh man. Rena, what do you plan on stabbing with that kitchen knife? Let me rephrase that. Who do you plan on stabbing?
ケイイチくん、どうしたの？怖い顔してるけど、何か考え事かな？
気のせいだろ。
As I said that, I quickly surveyed the area. It looked like Rena was hiding her hatchet earlier. Where did it go? Rena brought it home with her, right? Was she preparing the knife because she didn't want to use the hatchet? That's too bad, Rena. I'll be the one to grab that hatchet. My eyes stopped in the shadow of the shed. I could see the blade of the hatchet hidden there.
後ろを押してやるよ。
I moved around the back of the cart without saying anything more.
ああ、ケイイチくん。そんなに押したら向きが曲がっちゃうよ。
True? Actually? Rena started walking forward, pulling the cart to straighten it out. That is fact. She adjusted the angle of the cart so it was no longer facing the shed. I swiftly grabbed the hatchet from the shadow of the shed and gently set it down, and the cart obeyed without making a sound. And on the other side of the cart, I caught a glimpse of the knife Rena had hidden earlier.
リアカって何も乗ってないのに結構重いよね。
Rena quickly turned back and pulled the tarp down. Did she notice something? There's no point in hiding it now. I already know there's a kitchen knife hidden in there. The question is why?
疲れてるから余計そう感じるんじゃないのか。レナ、無理するなよ。大丈夫か？ リアカー引くのいつでも変わってやるぜ。
I even surprised myself with how gentle my voice came out. At this point, I know Rena has a kitchen knife, but Rena doesn't know that I have a hatchet. The fact brought me a small amount of relief. I was in a superior position, or at least I should be. I know it's awkward, but I think I'm gonna actually stop there because it's 3 a.m. I honestly thought that after the Mion thing, the story would just hit like an epilogue and then it would end. I didn't think we're gonna be having this like showdown about to happen because you know shit's about to go down, right? I don't know if Rena's necessarily gonna try to kill Teichi, but Teichi's probably at least gonna try to kill Rena. So yeah, we gotta end it here. I thought we were gonna finish it, but yeah, honestly, this story is like so lit. I think this is like a big step up from the last Hunter arc, which I thought was good, but I think this is like excellent. The whole Mion scene was like super emotional. Yeah, I'm a Mion stan. Maybe that added to it, but I felt so bad for Mion because you know she was like just literally just telling the truth. But yeah, good episode though. Good episode. Um, Worst Mion death, man. Feels bad. Feels bad, but you know, even as a Mion stan, I can appreciate this because it's like we take any new Mion scenes. But yeah, we'll continue next episode, I guess. And then I'll probably be better, maybe. But yeah, until then we'll see. We'll definitely finish this next week. I assume we'll finish next episode, but I guess this arc is just like a lot longer than the last one, huh? But until then, have a great time. Peace.